Okay, Lucille. Glen's coming. Let's go talk to him about that pre-order. Let's go.
Today's episode of Glen's Retro Show is brought to you by DNA Dimension Designs, the best custom retro gaming decals in the game, period.
Glen's Retro Show is also brought to you by Arcade Graphics. Looking to spruce up your Arcade1UP home arcade machine with a fantastic look? Be sure to look at arcadegraphics.com today.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on today's edition of Glen's Retro Show. I'm pretty excited about today's episode as well. Now in my last episode, I released the Arcade1UP Asteroids Tempest Spinner, and I had a pre-order of about 118 units. They sold out in about 4 hours, and I'm already starting to see some feedback, and it's been pretty positive. People seem to like the arcade quality and inexpensive price of the Glen's Retro Show Spinner. But one thing that people did need is if you have the 12-in-1 unit.
Well. Did you put me on that pre-order?
Hey Negan,
I got me a 12-in-1, and I want to be able to use your spinner in that and my trackball.
yeah, listen, I was just getting to that. Could you just give me a minute to finish here?
All right, let me
Thank
see
you.
what you got. Let's see what he's got first before I take this little Lucille to him.
Okay, like I was just about to say, if you have the 12-in-1 machine, my spinner was not compatible with the trackball and the spinner at the same time. I talked about a 12-in-1 interface board that will let you connect the Glen's Retro Show spinner and your Arcade1 trackball up to your 12-in-1 unit, and also have the ability to have a USB interface to connect the trackball and spinner to our PC or Raspberry Pi if you modified your machine. Well, I finally received a copy of my production unit 12-in-1 board. So let's make Negan happier. Let's go talk about this board a little bit. Okay, so you can see it's a very small board. This is going to be between $7 and $9. You'll get it on Amazon, the same spot where you can currently get the spinner for your Arcade1UP. If you haven't purchased it already in the pre-order, there should be some available about now on the store. The link will be down below for that. But you can see it's only got a couple of wires on it, and I'm going to talk about them really quickly here. On the top of the unit, you have your micro USB header. Now with this, you can plug this into your PC or Raspberry Pi, and it will turn your Arcade1UP trackball and my spinner into something compatible with USB interface for a PC with MAME or Raspberry Pi running Emulation Station. This top cable here by your little micro USB adapter here, this is what's going to plug into your PCB on the Arcade1UP. This is going to go into that interface board. Now on the bottom you see two cables coming out. It doesn't matter which one of these cables go where. One will go to my spinner and one goes to the trackball. It doesn't matter. But it will allow you to use both with the games without having to disconnect anything in the future. And again, give you some USB ability on a PC or a Raspberry Pi. So I already did an install of my spinner in my last video. I'm not going to cover that. But I'm going to show you how to connect this little guy to your Arcade1UP trackball and my spinner. So let's go take a look at that now. Okay, so here we have a standard Arcade1UP machine. I have already incorporated my spinner in here. Now what happens is, the way this is set up, the spinner does not go directly into the main board and the trackball go into a separate spot in the main board. On this particular machine, the spinner goes into the trackball then goes into the interface board. And my spinner is not compatible with that. So this little board will have both working at the same time. So it's pretty much the same steps. If you want to know how to install my spinner, please look at my last video. The link will be down below. Show you how easy that is to install. It's only a few minutes. So once again, you're going to take out your 4 screws so you can lift out your control board here, like so. And then we're going to have to simply disconnect our Arcade1UP interface cable here so we can take our board out completely. Okay, so here's the underside of the Arcade1UP 12-in-1. You can see here's my arcade spinner installed, and it has a cable coming out like so. Now normally in the other Astros machine, that would simply go right into here and you'd be done with it. But the trackball has to go in there. Normally the Arcade1UP spinner would go into this unit, hardwire, and this into here. So what we're going to do now is simply disconnect the trackball, you can see here, from the interface board. Now all we need to do now is, here's my board. You can see the micro USB interface right here. So that cable here is now going to go into this position. Again, it can only go in one way, very easy to do. Just slide that right down like so. Now it doesn't matter. There's 2 cables here on the opposite side of the board. One will go, again, it does not matter which one. I'm going to put one with my unit, and then take the trackball and put that into the other unit. And that's really it. You're done. Now I'm not going to mount this right now because I'm not ready to do that. I've got to do a couple more things I want to do inside the machine, but it's fine if it's loose for right now. We're simply going to put this back, reconnect our cable, and try it out in the machine and see if the trackball and the Glen's Retro Show spinner works. Okay, so we're simply going to put this thing back in place like so. And of course we have to reconnect our interface cable to connect it to the Arcade1UP machine. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to put it back in place. And now we're going to turn on our Arcade1UP. And you can see right now we can make game selections with my trackball here. It works just fine. And also, my spinner works just fine. So if I was to go into a game, let's say we'll just go with the Tempest, because hey, why not? Let's go into our Tempest game. Put in a coin, start it up, pick a level. So we know that the spinner is working just fine. So let's go out of the game. And we'll pick, let's say, I like Missile Command. I'm going to go with the Missile Command. Put a coin in, start her up, and I'll have my trackball working. Now what you will notice is, just like in the real Arcade1UP, my trackball's working, but the spinner doesn't do anything in this game because it wasn't supposed to. So it's acting just like it would be with the Arcade1UP spinner, just a lot smoother. So the next thing I'm sure people want to know is, how does the USB interface work? And will it work in my PC and Raspberry Pi? Well, let's go try that out. Okay guys, I'm sorry it's kind of a tight camera angle here. I don't have a lot of space in the particular spot that I'm in. But this particular Arcade1UP 12-in-1 is actually with a PC running MAME on here. And here is the 12-in-1 I took out of my other machine over here. I'll turn it over just so you can see that, see it is missing from there. So I took it out and I'll come back over here for a second. Okay, so here's my 12-in-1 and here is my interface board here. So my trackball and my spinner coming into here. This is going into the control board. We're not going to do that. So we're going to take these two inputs and instead of going out here, we're going to come out this micro USB connector here. I have a standard USB, micro USB telephone charging cable going into the computer here. Okay, so you can see I'm just running Windows here, and I'm not sure if you can see the mouse. Maybe you can, but it's really tiny. But you can see as I'm moving this across, the trackball here is controlling the mouse, and you can see it's right here again. And if here's my spinner, you can see I can also control the mouse movement left and right. So you can see the 12-in-1 board is translating the information from these controls directly to the Windows PC just fine. So as you're playing the games in MAME, you're going to have to probably adjust different sensitivity settings or different accelerations to make it work the way you want it exactly in the game. But you can see right here, it's operating as a standard like Windows trackball or well, a paddle, basically, which is kind of what you want. So I'm going to start Tempest on here, and we're going to give it a try and see how this works. Just got to start up my machine here. I have a little mouse here that I'm going to use to initiate Tempest. This machine is still a work in progress. Let me start this thing up here. Here we go. And boom. So right now, my fire button I think is going to be up here because I didn't really configure anything down here yet. But the spinner should work with the Tempest here. So I'm going to put a coin in. So there we go. Coin and back. There we go. Got 1 credit. And then we are going to start the game. There we go. And I'm going to pick a level. And you can see my spinner is working here. Oh, my fire button's not. Oh, wrong button. There we go. But as you can see right here, I'm going to put another coin in and start this up again. Now, if you wanted to, the trackball is now also set up to work in this. Because once again, this 12-in-1 interface board is going to take both those signals and combine them. So your trackball would work here, as you can see, or the spinner. And I get nailed really quick. So let's try a different game. Let's try using Centipede or Missile Command and try out the trackball here. So I have to get out of the game like so. And I need to find my mouse. Here we go. Let's see if I can find Missile Command in here somewhere. Oh, Centipede. We'll do Centipede. So we'll start up Centipede. Put in a coin. So you can see it does work. And again, it's set up as 128 resolution on the trackball itself. So you might want to make adjustments again for this to more sensitivity. And again, you might have to make some change in your MAME setting. But you can see that the interface board is transferring the Arcade1UP's trackball into the game here in MAME on a PC. And you can see your spinner would control your left and right because again it's combining your signals. So if you only wanted to go left and right, your spinner would work just fine there. But the proof of concept is that it does work. It does communicate via USB for the trackball. Whoops. As well, so you can see it's working. Okay, so I did mention when I had it connected to my MAME PC that there were some issues. Now the 12-in-1 board here was originally designed for the Arcade1UP 12-in-1 to allow your trackball and your spinner to work. And for that, it works absolutely perfectly. If that's what you're looking for, to simply have your 12-in-1 use my spinner and a trackball, the
the 12-in-1 board is ready to go, and we should have that at Amazon within a week or so. The issues I was seeing with the MAME and the Raspberry Pi was there was a small latency in the controls. As you spun it or moved the trackball, there was a little bit of a delay, and then it kind of was almost like being on ice. When you went to turn, it kept going a little bit further. And it turns out that in the Arcade1UP board, they actually programmed in an 8 millisecond delay into the trackball and the PCB that the gentleman who made the board had compensated for the Arcade1UP machines. But they didn't compensate, or I say remove the compensation, for when you want to use it in a PC or Raspberry Pi. So it's just a software change. So that's something they are working on, but it's not going to be ready, for, unfortunately, for the initial release. So if you do want to get the board for your Arcade1UP machine, the 12-in-1, the board should be ready to go in about a week or so. It'll be on the Amazon store with the spinner. But if you are using it specifically to use your trackball and my spinner in your Raspberry Pi project, your PC project, my recommendation is to hold off for a little bit. We'll note when the new boards are available. We're not sure if we're going to be doing a full board replacement, as in a separately programmed board, or just reprogram them all and make it an option on the board. But if you do want to use it for a PC or Pi, again, I don't want anyone to be disappointed, and I'm sorry about that, but I don't want to sell something that I feel is not the way it should be. And for the 12-in-1 units, it's absolutely ready to go, and it's really great. But for a PC or a Raspberry Pi, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit more of a delay. We have to make a software change. So again, I do appreciate you guys watching. I do hope you liked the episode, and if so, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and that's really it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Negan is having some fun over there. Thank goodness. And I'm going to play a little bit of a Centipede over here now with my 12-in-1. So remember, everyone, game on.
Glen at the Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.